Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today as we celebrate the life and legacy of one of our nation's greatest Americans. In 1776, when our nation declared its independence from Great Britain, our founding fathers espoused what was a revolutionary idea, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But for many Americans, these words rang hollow. Native Americans faced brutal treatment by our government for the next century and a half. And women have spent more time in this nation's history without the right to vote than with it. But today we pause to reflect on the story of African Americans in particular. You see, Madam Speaker, despite the eloquence with which our Declaration of Independence described human equality, just a few years later, our Constitution enshrined the institution of slavery. And it said literally that a black man was worth less than a white man. This was the official policy of the United States for nearly 100 years, and in many places the unofficial policy for 100 more. But in the 1950s, the Civil Rights Movement emerged. It used nonviolent protest, civil disobedience, and powerful oratory in order to eliminate segregation and promote equality. Nationally, leaders like Rosa Parks and John Lewis were pioneers in this movement, and right here at home, folks like Larry Gossett led the fight. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was not the only leader in this movement, but his methods were the most powerful and his legacy the most enduring. Dr. King worked tirelessly and peacefully, using the power of persuasion in order to remind America of whom she always claimed to be. He endured assault, arrest, and eventually assassination, so that the immortal words of our founding fathers might ring as true in reality as they did symbolically to King George III 2 centuries earlier. So on this day of remembrance, let us learn three lessons from the life and legacy of Dr. King. First, even though Dr. King did so much to advance ideas of liberty, equality, and justice for all, it's clear from talking with our black friends and frankly watching the evening news that much remains to be done. So let us continue to work together in order to bring the America in which we live in line with the America that we profess to be. Second, even though many of us will never know what it's like to be black in America, we can learn from Dr. King's struggles on how to overcome injustices facing all of us. Most importantly, as the good representative from the 49th District pointed out, Washington students today face an astounding opportunity gap. We need to work together to ensure that all children, regardless of race, zip code, national origin, or family background, can receive a world-class education that prepares them for college and career. And lastly, let us apply Dr. King's legacy to all of the other work this body does as well. We're all political leaders in this state, and as we go forth back to our districts, let us carry forward Dr. King's principles with us as we engage with our constituents. Let us endeavor to change hearts and minds through the power of persuasion. Let words be our weapons. Let's prove that ideas matter. Politicians today spend too much time trying to divide, but instead we should strive to reach common ground and find consensus. When detractors accuse us of too much talk and not enough action, just remember that Dr. King's talk changed the character of a nation and the fate of millions of its people. If any one of us would be so lucky to leave a fraction of the legacy for Washington State that Dr. King left for America and the world, we would be quite fortunate indeed. Thank you, Madam Speaker.